is something on this campus which stands for a lie. Something on this campus which is a symbol of all the oppression in the world for which our government is responsible. And I think we all know what that something is.
Who are those guys?
I don't know.
I don't understand why there are no cops here.
My men are not going in there and risking their lives without the cops around to help them do it. And even if we wanted to, you boys and girls have packed up our homes. Good night. Come on, man, let's get out of here.
It's amazing. Razzi's being torched and there's no pigs around.
It's like they're giving it to us deliberately.
Why don't you go home now, Professor Frank, huh? There's nothing you could do. Just go home, okay?
We just saw a clip from NBC's documentary drama Kent State that will be telecast tonight at 7. Today we have with us Dr. J. Gregory Payne, who was historical consultant during the filming. He is also author of Mayday, Kent State. Our program will continue after these messages. I'm Jeannie Rourke, and today we're talking about the filming of Kent State. We saw the clip a few moments ago. The filming of Kent State demonstrated that the controversy has not been resolved. It's been 10.5 years since the incident occurred, and the wounds, of course, have not healed. Dr. Payne is with me today, and he is an authority on the historical and litigational aspects of the Kent State incident. He is also assistant professor of rhetoric at Occidental College in Los Angeles. He's lectured extensively on Kent State in colleges and universities across the U.S. and Great Britain. And he is also author and director of Kent State A Requiem, which was here, of course, at the University of Illinois last May when you were in town. And you attended the University of Illinois in the 1970s. So, Greg, maybe I want to start with what caused you to become involved with this Kent State controversy?
That's a question that many people have asked, especially given the fact that I've spent a great deal of time the last 10 years looking into Kent. At the time I was working for the Daily Illini while a student and was a sophomore at the university, and it became apparent to me once the story started breaking over the wires that there was a great deal of information that was not within what was coming over the wires. So initially I went over to Kent in the hopes of being able to try to figure out, at least from my own standpoint, what had occurred. For those who have read anything about Kent, of course, the university was closed, and it was very difficult to even retrace the footsteps. But one thing I did find was the same type of intense hatred, polarization within the community among young people and old people. And I guess this would substantiate Governor Scranton's claim, which he made in the President's Commission on Campus Unrest, that this period was the most divisive in American history since the Civil War. And as you said, since then I have worked on Kent State. It actually resulted in my dissertation here at Illinois. being one in which I looked at the types of evidence being offered to advance two divergent views of what occurred at Kent, and then of course the play as well as the movie, and then also the publication of Kent State, or Mayday Kent State, which summarizes my research, work on the movie, as well as the views of parents, guardsmen, and authorities of the Nixon administration 10 years later.
Greg, let's go back to that day, May 4th, 1970. What was the turning point that caused this horrible incident?
That's one of the things, Jamie, that I am very happy about in terms of the movie. And that is, I think we very accurately give, as I've said, a flavor that this was a very turbulent time in American history. If we think back, and if we look back at some of our newspapers back over at Illinois Library, which I still wish I had at Occidental, we can see that Vice President Agnew, only a week before, had told a group of college presidents in Florida that the next time there was a group of demonstrators on the campus with peace signs and slogans, that the presidents should, quote, pretend they were just wearing brown shirts or white sheets and act accordingly. And therefore, I think what you had was an attempt to portray students as the enemies and associate them with extremist groups. Now, on Sunday, May 3rd, you also had the governor of Ohio picking this tone up and indicating at a press conference at Kent, I might add, that Governor Rhodes was involved